Hey, folks, one of the Redneck Country Podcast. You were on with Real Redneck Todd Millard. Of course, we've got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill. Tom, Bill, are you there?
I'm here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
It is a beautiful night for a podcast. Cooled off a little bit. It's not too bad at all.
Sure did. I'm sitting out here in my Redneck Country sweatshirt with the almost guy on the sleeve and enjoying a nice cup of tea.
Jeez, I was going to say, if I know you, you're probably a little bit chilly. You got the knitting needle sitting beside you, got your cup of tea.
That's it. I'm one step away from putting a blanket over me.
Candace, can you chop some wood to get the fire going to warm up, Bill, please?
Already stacked and in the woodshed. We're good.
And as always, sitting beside me is the patriarch of Redneck Country, my father, Real Redneck Don Millard. Dad, is your mic hot?
It is. Beautiful night to walk over, too.
That's all you have to say?
Right now.
Impressive. See, we gave him last week. We let him go. But we might be good for a couple months.
I still want to ride in the hot rod, so I'm not going to really say too much on that front. So
good grief.
But there you go.
Chirpity chirp chirp.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's interesting. You know, it's getting to the end of the season here of the summer, and it feels like it just started. You know,
I agree.
Finally, we're starting to see some geese in the air, and I bought my goose or duck stamp last. I think I said that on the last podcast there. So starting to get ready, starting to get the itch.
And they're in the fields. We're going around now. We're asking permission.
Yeah, I went up to Aurelia this weekend. PP and I did some fishing, which I'll talk about in a bit, and the fields were packed. I tell you, there was right near Weber's grill or whatever. I don't remember exactly where I was, but the field there. You just
had, it was nowhere near there, but you had to mention.
I had to say Weber's. Yeah, grill. That's it. Yeah, Weber's I think is beyond where I typically would have went. But you know what? It's okay. It's Weber's grill. And, I got to put the shout out for the local barbecue shops. So
free charcoal for me
everywhere. Yeah, free charcoal. There we go. So.
Oh, yeah, they are. There's a bunch. I know my brother-in-law, who happens to be sitting right behind me here in the studio with a microphone and headset on. We'll get there in a minute. But he actually has been assisting with the scouting because he sent me a Snapchat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're in 2021.
Snapchat?
We're
are you kidding me?
2021.
You guys are all disappointing me right now. Let me tell you a little something. I had the most disappointing news on the weekend that PP is a TikTok guy.
Sorry, PP. Are you kidding me? I do not see that. I don't see it. I'm looking for it right now. I mean, not that I know. Wait. Sorry, I have to download TikTok, and then I'm going to look for it right now.
All you guys with the social media platforms, I don't even know how to use. My kid's sitting on the couch right now. I can see her right here. I don't know if it's TikTok or Snapchat, but the flash is going off and the things are happening here. So you guys are just right there.
You know, I shouldn't say it because he's probably saved my life more than he needed to. But we'd love to. I was thinking we should have PP on the podcast, but I don't know if we've got room for any more women to come on this thing.
He's a TikTok guy, and he's having a lot of fun with it. That's for sure. So,
do you know his handle? I'm gonna get all redneck trucker manly here. What's his TikTok handle?
No, I have no idea. It was something Bull Fighter or something. I have no idea. No clue. Because I said I'm not going to get into another social media platform that I have no time for. So. There you go. So, anyways, I cut you off on your kids. It's quality time with your kids. Your Snapchat deal.
So, my brother-in-law Snapchatted me a whack load of geese. What, Connor? There had to be 500 in the air.
Maybe even more.
Like, it was insane. It was just a line of them. So, naturally, I can't Snapchat Dad, and I'm not willing to show him yet another social media platform. So, I quickly texted him, and hey, Connor just sent me this from this corner. We need to get out there and find permission. So we're working on it.
Good deal.
So it's that time of year, and we're going to shift focus there. I think this might be like one of our last podcasts where we're talking about summer jazz
I think so.
And fishing and stuff. We're probably going to switch over. Like we got Dove opens Wednesday. which I'm pumped, man. Like me and Connor have been fishing, and all you can hear is whoo, 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 whoo. Anyway, however that works. Hey, it was like 8:45, 10:50. It's dark. You can't see. We're getting ready to leave the water, and you hear. And it wasn't the normal hoo 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 or whatever they doves do, but it was more of a hoo 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 hoo. And I'm like, that could be.
Yeah, I would have been confused too. That would have. Are you kidding me? You couldn't tell the difference between a dove and an owl.
It was a long day. We've been fishing since 6 a.m. It was now 9 p.m.
Yeah, no water.
And it was dark. I was like, why are the doves? The doves aren't even out, but they must have been cooing from the trees. Yeah. So Wednesday, I'm gonna drop some hammers. I got a field that is there's got to be 80 to 100 on the hydro wires right on the highway, and as you drive by, they all and fly to the fence row, the row of trees fence row that's right. So yeah, I'm going to set up. I gotta talk to the landowner and get in there. And I'm gonna rock some doves.
You need about 80 to 100 to make a meal.
45 did okay. I mean, you're hungry by the time you get them all cleaned, wrapped in bacon, barbecue sauce to throw on the barbecue. But yeah, we did all right with we limited out with 45 the last time. But yeah, I think they need to increase the limit. I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm not looking at it for keeping them around sake and the longevity of dove hunting. I'm looking at it from the meat standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be any bigger than a little meatball size.
Chicken nugget. Yep, chicken nugget.
I better get an invite to that dinner. I haven't tried it before.
Well, you might have to come shoot them.
Yeah, I'll show you where they are too.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the hammers. It's gonna be all right. Right on. So where are we going this week? You know what? We got my brother-in-law here. I think we start with you, Bill, and find out what you did this week.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a short summary of what went on this weekend. It was a pretty good outdoorsy type weekend at the old Thom Ranch here with us doing some fishing on Saturday. It was one of those long overdue fishing trips that PP and I were talking about for I don't know ever since COVID started, and we finally decided to say
that's TikTok. PP, by the way.
Yeah,
sorry, carry
on. We finally decided to get out, and I've been struggling to fish Lake Simcoe. I don't know how to fish it. I don't know the right spots to fish. I used to. Things have changed, or I just forgot. I've had lots of concussions in my time. I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, I'm going to go with concussions there, but he committed to taking me out and showing me some of his spots, and I tell you what, it was an absolute fantastic weekend.
Right on.
Yeah, Saturday we got into it. Yeah, we did. We actually, some of us did. I did. I outfished him 6-1, but
you outfished him 6 to. He was too busy on his phone.
He was too busy making sure that the Cairan Hester guide service was putting his clients on fish. Is what it was.
Well, that is commendable. So, people, I will give it up because that is what you do. I will say that. So that's why you wanted him to take his boat. But regardless, but I will say, if I find PP on TikTok and there's a whole bunch of videos of you like going to cast and then rewind and go to cast and then rewind and go to, and you look like a fly fisherman or something to some funky beat, I am going to have something to say on the next podcast.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you'd be able to find it first, being the IT guy, or you'd have an IT guy show you how to do that.
Here we go.
But no, it was good. We went to launch out of the same launch my brother and I did, and we said forget it because they wanted to charge us $100 to put the boat in the water.
$100 to launch?
Yep, in Aurelia, and it's one of those shout out in a negative way to Aurelia. We were very disappointed.
Is this a public launch or is this a privately owned launch?
Well, that's a great question. It's got a ticket booth. So I don't know if that means it's a private launch that somebody's invested in,
or
this,
if the township owns it.
It's a township owns it, but whatever it is, it used to be a public launch, but they've made it with this ticket booth thing. And we showed up. We started on launch of the boat. I said, "PP, I'll get the launch." I figured $45, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. It's his boat, his gas, whatever. If I have to spend $45, and I looked at it, I said, "PP, it's $100." He says, "Forget it." So we
all of a sudden that thing's like a kayak, and you're just going to find some beach to roll that sucker. You would start weed whacking some trees out the way. You'll get there.
Well, I tell you what we did is we just kept going until we found he knew of another spot to launch on Lake Simcoe, but it was off of Crown Land. Not many people know about this spot. I don't want to give it away because then it'll become a whole lot of trouble there.
An avoidance of $100 freaking dock fee is what it'll become. Right. That's absolutely insane. And the spot that we launched was free. It was on Crown Land, and it took us down a little river, and then we got out into the other side of Lake Simcoe from where we wanted to start off with, but we just kind of reversed our path as to how we were going to fish, and we literally fished from one end of Simcoe to the other. And we took his boat, and we were ripping across the lake. We'd stop at a spot. Now, did he have these spots marked? Is this Cairan Hester guide service? He knows where to go, or were you watching Fish Finder for structure?
No, he had these spots already pre-marked, where you'd start with a rock shoal and would go to an island, or it would taper off from 9 feet down to 20 feet or whatever. It was kind of it was logical, but at the same time it eliminated a lot of water. And with my small boat, I don't have the ability to rip across the lake like we did in his boat. And I hooked into some good fish. My new shout out to tactical fishing rods. The Power Shot, I bought that a couple of weeks ago from, through Nick Obermach, and is the absolute best fishing rod I've ever owned.
You said that, eh? So, okay. Yeah. I got a whack load of questions. So hold on. So sure. Why that fishing pole?
So I bought it because 7'2", it is a one-piece carbon rod. It had a little bit more to offer than the drop shot from a backbone and from
so they have a couple different models, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. 4 different models, but I was attracted to this one based on the length. The fact I think they're all one piece, but I was based on Nick's recommendation too. He said he would have went with this one over the drop shot, and I took his recommendation. And I tell you what, it is the most sensitive rod I've ever. So
I've said this, and my brother-in-law, like we're rolling with 6 rods in our kayak, 7 rods in our kayak, more if we could fit them. Right? I just bought a new one, but used off Facebook. I bought a Lose Laser Speed or whatever, probably the best rod I got. It's a one piece and the reel's awesome. And I've always said, I don't care, Dad, your mic's hot, so you could chime in. What is the rod and reels that we have always used since I was a kid? How much did they cost?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. Since you were a kid, they weren't very much money.
Well, forever. We go buy the cheapies that are on sale at like Canadian Tire or your local store that they're like $45, rod and reel combo. You're like, $45? We're going to buy that. That's a reel and a rod. And that's all we've ever used. And so I'm like, I'd use an old cane pole. But you're saying, no, there's a difference.
No. Well, there's a huge difference.
Because then there's dudes that are spending 600 bones on rods too, right?
No, and this is the best part about these tactical rods. You're not spending the $600 on like a St. Croix or a G. Loomis or something like that.
Is that how you say that? St. Croix? I always said St. Croix.
I'm not as technical or savvy as you. St. Croix is what I call them. But PP fishes with those, and him and I were fishing side by side. Similar setups. We were fishing drop shot with.
PP uses St. Croix.
He does, yeah.
Man, Bull Fighter got money.
He's invested in his fishing stuff.
Maybe I don't want to find. I don't want to know what his videos are now on there, but kudos.
He'll fish either a Daiwa or a Fluger. We both fish Fluger reels, but the St. Croix and the Daiwa, you're big money. Where I'm at, my Fluger reel I think was about $100. And then the rod itself is about $146, $150. So it was $225 shipped to my door. You're into a combo that you will have for your life, and it will be the best feeling finesse rod that you've ever had.
The tactical rod,
tactical power
fishing
shot.
That's way too much for me to spend if I'm going in a boat. It'd just end up in the bottom of the river or the
lake. I pity the fact that you spend good money and only to have it.
It's too funny, eh?
Anchors.
So we go fishing with Nick Albermach, and guys follow him around Lake St. Clair because they know he knows where the fish are, right? You go with him on a walleye charter, you got 5 minutes in a spot because then all of a sudden 12 boats are right on you because they know Nick knows where those fish are. And so it's the same with that, only it's not they're coming because there's fish there. They know they're going to get free tackle from the bottom of the lake. They just need to mark the spots.
Oh, that's too much.
The latest, newest, and greatest, it's at the bottom of the St. Lawrence, and I never caught a fish yet.
Little do they know, I'd put them right in their boat with them, and they could have them and all the tackle.
It's all there for you for the taking. Just got to follow Todd around.
I tell you what.
That's all. Yeah. 7 foot 2 inch, one piece. You can fish either 1/8 up to 5/8 ounce lures. It's, I hooked into 2 fish over, around 4 pounds. Each fish was 4 pounds.
Species.
You pick pictures of those
Smallies, right?
Yeah, smallies. Yeah, we're fishing for smallies. And the other ones were, 2 pounds.
Did you boat flip them?
The other ones I did, the bigger ones I did not.
You're too nervous. You didn't want to break that new tactical rod.
There was no breaking that thing. That thing it'll bend itself in half and you'll still have fish because I did it. The fish that were fighting on the boat, Fifi had enough time to, light a cigarette and to walk to one end of the boat and grab his coffee. And he said, "Oh, you'll be a while, reeling that in." And I was, and it was a lot of fun fishing with that setup because you're not having a telephone pole where you're just horsing them into the boat. You're fighting them and you're having a good time doing it. So we caught 6 fish.
Without giving away his spots,
yep.
he had them marked. It was structure, drop shotting, depth. What were you doing?
We fished, we caught fish in 8 feet. We caught fish in 20 feet, depending on how the day was. We were in front of a massive storm the entire day where Candace was at the house here, which is, the south end of Lake Simcoe. She
calling
was
life insurance up in it.
Yeah, she was. She was like, "Are you guys all right out there? Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "We can see the storm." When we were on the lower end of Lake Simcoe, we saw the storm coming and we ripped to the upper end, and then we fished up there for a bit, and then waited till the storm passed, kind of around us, and then we cut back to where we launched from. And
was it rough?
Got wet the whole time. Say again.
Was it rough?
No, that was a funny thing. I expected with the storm coming to have, white caps and whatever. We were going 65 kilometers an hour across the bay there with no issues whatsoever. So you got the boat up to 75 kilometers an hour full. That was the top speed that we were able to do with both us in it. He's got a 150 Evinrude on a 16-foot skeeter, and it was not crazy. Huh. So. Yeah, a little bit, nerve-wracking for me because I don't like to go swimming when I go fishing. I kind of like to stay in the boat. How boring are you? Yeah, and we actually hit a swell, and I got launched out of my seat, and you could have fit my tackle bag and everything I had under me before I came back out onto the seat. And he's like, "Wow, where did that wave come from?" Because it was rogue. It came from nowhere. I got launched.
That's when he looks over. Is Bill still with me? Yep, we're good. Throttle on.
If that was me, I wouldn't have come back on the seat. You'd have been going around and picked me up.
Or would we?
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, it was good. We fished. We got back before we didn't get any weather, and it was good enough time. So Sunday we went to the trap club and I did an ATA shoot with my wife. So
Toronto International Trap and Skeet and blah blah blah. Whatever they got it onto the tits thing, so it doesn't say tits.
Yep, that's that. So we don't get in trouble anymore. So yeah, it was good. There was we shot singles and caps, both of us. And it was fun.
Right on. Did they have a whole lot of shooters?
Not as many as. Well, I don't know. Truth is, I haven't shot very many ATA shoots outside of the big ones. So they had 6 squads of singles and 6 squads of caps, and only a couple squads of doubles,
for us
which we didn't stick around
Southerners that don't
for.
want to travel that far, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Right
so I shot okay. I kind of didn't do well for my first.
You told
first
me your
round.
scores, and I'm going to disagree. So we won't. The handicaps you shot. Okay, you shot freaking awesome for the caps. Like, let's look at this. This is pretty much your first year shooting ATA for the most part, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Like, you've shot one before, two. Right. But it was just like fly by the seat of your pants, show up, shoot, gone, and not really practiced ahead of time or anything like that. So
that's true.
This ATA shoot, you've put maybe a month in of actual shooting once a week. Solid. You're coming off of shooting the provincials.
Yep.
Right. So you've got that under your belt. And then you walked out there, 23-yard handicap, and you laid down an 88, which in your first year at penalty yardage, that's pretty freaking good when really you've not shot a lot considering what trap shooters shoot
that's
normally.
A good score, Bill.
That's a good freaking, that holds true with people that have been shooting for 20 years. Yeah. An 88 at 23 yards.
Yeah. It was actually 20 yards. I'm not going to. We didn't have to take penalty because there was no prizes in this one.
Okay, so you shot.
Still,
yeah, but hey, still 20 yards.
Yeah, I shot an 88 from 20 yards, and I haven't practiced caps at all because when we go out there, nobody likes to move the mics back. I don't know if it's what it's like when we're in your clubs and stuff, but
you see the size of trap shooters, right? They're just lazy.
We did
maybe, but everybody likes to shoot their singles, but nobody. I don't practice.
Just move them. You'll have guys join you. You'll have guys say, "Oh, good,
wow, they
back.
moved them. Thank you. I'll actually get up and shoot." Then they're too lazy to put them forward. Now you shoot caps the rest of the night.
We go out and move them. We go out and move them, and all of a sudden there's a full squad. Nobody suggested it. We just go move them, and then all of a sudden there's a full squad. Oh, they moved them. Good. Let's go. Yeah,
I'll be doing that next time we go out because I tell you what, my wife is a caps queen. She just, I'm not going to say too much about her score for singles, but it wasn't great. I didn't tell her to change a thing. Not her hold points, not her ammunition. Well, I changed
not
her
outlook on life, not anything in the kitchen, her housework at home. You didn't mention any of that when she had a gun in her hand?
No, I'm a little bit smarter than you are in many ways, and that's one of them. But
yeah, my wife doesn't go to the gun club, Bill. That's the ultimate smart.
Which she didn't change her choke tube. She didn't change anything besides her distance. She went from 16 to 19 yards, and her score doubled 3 times. You saw her scores. I mean, she
she crushed 18, her single 15, score with the caps.
And I'm watching her because she's shooting on the station beside me, and she's not chipping. They're ink balls. Yeah. So I don't know what the difference is.
I think honestly, for both of you, I've said this forever, right? At the 20-yard mark, at the 20, and I'd say almost back to 23, 16 yards. I think is almost harder because you get shooting too quick. With the caps, it makes you maybe slow down a little bit to get a better look, and it's all about the look. And really, there's not much difference there from 16 to 20. There's hardly any difference at all. You get a better look at them. It's a different mental thought process, I think, for newer shooters that they're like, okay, I've really got to concentrate now. I'm back another 4 yards, which really you don't. It's the same that you would do at the 16s, but you maybe don't put as much, and so it's the mental side of it, right? That you concentrate more, so it makes you feel like you get a better look, and really, it's all about look. You see that target, you can crush that target.
First round for caps, it was hold points. It was trying to figure out on the house where my hold points needed to be per station, and once I figured that out, I rolled them. And I'm not going to be. Pat myself in the back because I got a lot of work to do. But
wait. You're not that you're an arrogant person or anything like that.
No, not that I'm going to be say the Todd Millard 80 plus podcast phrase.
Not that I'm narcissistic.
But as soon as I figured out the hold points, and I didn't, and this is going to sound weird, and I don't know how to explain this, but I didn't come up to the targets. I came across to the targets on the hard angles on station 1 and 5.
So you're holding pretty high.
I was holding low. I was holding right at the bottom lip of the house.
Really?
Yes. On station 3.
Oh, on a hard left
4.
or hard right. So you came right off the corner, picked it up and pounded
it. That's exactly what I did.
Yep.
Right off the corner. And the station 3, I'm right at the number on the house is where my gun is.
I got you.
That's how low I'm holding on that. And I was just snap my wrist and hardly moving at all. And those targets were just breaking. So
what was your best out of 25? Are you willing to say your best out of 25 in the handicap?
Yeah, I shot a 24.
Oh, in the handicap.
Yeah.
In the caps. That's what I said. He was crushing it. That's why I got this 25 straight badge right here that was getting ready to mail, but I thought it'd be the canvas. Now I
ran 17 or 18 straight before I dropped my first target on that round.
And then hit the rest.
And then I hit the rest.
Yeah.
And then I went the next round after that. I shot a 21, and I dropped 2 on the first station. I dropped 2 on the first station, and then it wasn't until the last station I think I dropped. It dropped another 1 or 2. It doesn't matter, but
you're getting so close to that 25. You're getting so close.
I said to the guys coming off the line, I've never shot a 25 before. And they were like, oh, yeah, you shot it. And I'm like, no, I missed it by 1. So
they were like, we don't even like the Jays. Get that hat out there anyway.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my time. I've taken up enough time.
You're cutting yourself off. Is that a thing now? Do we have to do that? Don't expect me to do that.
Yeah, not much more. We came home, cleaned the guns, had a nap. It was a great Sunday afternoon.
Right on. So clean the guns.
Sounds good.
It's good. I'm glad you cleaned the guns. See, now you're taking a little bit out of my book.
Did you pre-squat us yet?
No, I got to look at that. We'll do tomorrow.
Don, would you remind him?
He did when he got here tonight.
I did when I got here.
It was actually, are we shooting this weekend?
We haven't even signed up the ATA and OPTA yet either.
Yeah, it's all renewal time, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right, too. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So who's next?
Well, I will relinquish my time to Connor. So we'll go to Dad. Listen to you. Okay. That was a little too positive. So now we'll go to Dad. Dad, what did you do this week?
The only thing you guys are interested in this week is I did make it to the gun club for a practice.
Did you?
Todd was working late. He had meetings.
Now, what do you mean the only thing we're interested in? I mean, we don't get to hear about the pills or the doctor's appointments or what?
We want to hear it all, Don.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get Connor's mic turned off. Crap.
Wednesday night, Bill and I went. There was only 4 of us at the club. It was awesome. We shot 4 rounds apiece, and we moved the mics back. We did shoot around a handicap, but it was hot. It was really stifling hot, but the sun was out. See him good. So I shot a 24, 25, and then moved the mics back to 22 yards and hit a 21. So I was still happy with the 21. So that's why I said your scores are good. But anyway, we had fun. It was a nice night visiting with the guys that were there. It was cool.
All right. I'll add on to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, not to your Wednesday night, but I'll add on to your thing. So then he planned, I couldn't go fishing Sunday because he had planned our Easter dinner for that Sunday because it's the only day that my cousin. Oh yeah, my cousin
didn't
work.
You guys couldn't come down with us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or come shoot at Toronto. Yeah, because it was our Easter dinner. We
had restrictions. There's 13 to 15 of us. Well, there was 13. Trying to get everybody together.
It's tough.
Yeah, I was going to tell the story really succinct.
Once it opened up, it like we couldn't get anybody together. So the 29th was the only day that everyone was off work at the same time. So Saturday, I cooked a turkey dinner with all the trimmings and had it all in foils and everything ready to go on Sunday. We got home from church, warmed it up, and everybody come over and we had a
so it was good.
Big turkey dinner.
And then he planned a game, and this is where I wanted to go. So Dad decides that he's going to play Name That TV Show movie based on the theme song. So he divides us into 4 teams.
3 teams.
3 teams?
3 teams.
Felt like there was 4.
No, there was 3 teams.
I feel like I was on my own. So there was 3 teams. So it was my sister and brother-in-law.
And Les and Sarah.
And thank you. And Les and Sarah.
That was 1 team.
It was my family, me and my wife and my 2 kids. And then it was my Uncle Ron, who's 83. My aunt, who's, I don't even know how old she is, 60?
She's almost 65.
Almost 65. And my mom, who's 73. And then my nephew, who's 20?
No.
19?
18.
18. So that was the 3 teams. And so then Dad's got his MP3 player there with a speaker, and he plays the intro. And my kids were so distraught for maybe the first 15, as were we, because like, if I start whistling the theme song to Lawrence Welk, Bill, are you going to know it?
There was no Lawrence
If I
Welk.
start whistling, like I'm going, hold the phone. Some of these, I think, like he was just, I'm pretty sure he had 59 songs. There was probably a couple in there that my mom and aunt and my uncle got on points because it was just, they didn't have an intro. Because if you watched the TV show, all you'd hear is the film projector going click, 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 click. Literally, it was that, and we're going like, "What the heck?" They're like, "Can we get to where the TVs were
fair
color?"
for everybody? You can't just have the young kids get the TV
My
show
theory
stuff.
was those old people have been alive all the way through all of these. We weren't alive when those shows were on.
Let me ask you a question. Did you expect the 83 and the 73-year-old to know the theme song for Shimmer and Shine?
They've had the ability to keep up. It's not our problem. I did not have the ability to watch those old shows. That's not fair.
Like Avery watches Shimmer and Shine. They wouldn't have got that one. Avery snapped that one right up.
Anyway, so that went down, and we were all pretty close. I mean, it was all within a point of each other. And then he gave us prizes. But I'll tell you, it was like Joe Biden running a game show.
I was going to say that because I gave a recap on the scores.
He's like, and then Todd's
Jen
team.
was the head of one team.
It's the same team.
And my daughter, Carrie, was the head of the other team. And so I said, and what do you know? Jen's team is 1 point ahead of Todd's team. I'm so used to saying Jen and Todd. And they were on the same team.
Sure.
And they all said that. What? I went, oh, no. I meant Jen's team 1 point against Karen's team.
But Bill is laughing because he already knows. He's hung around you. The people listening to the podcast that have listened to you, when I say it's like Biden host, they got it. You don't need to describe or give any more input.
Yeah, well, that was a 5-minute interval, getting everybody calmed down because that was a pretty good joke. Everybody laughed at that one.
It was Biden running it's pretty much on our podcast. Anyway, so that was what else he had done. So I would fill that in. I thought I would get it in there succinctly. I apologize. That goes on
you
his
guys were
time.
able to get together finally after a long time of trying.
Once they open it up, you could have 25, then nobody could get together. Somebody's working, like Rick's working afternoons on Sundays, or Les is on a run on Sunday. And so finally on the 29th, I said, okay, that's the date. But when they set that date, it was like a month ago. So we had no idea he would have an opportunity to go shooting. But anyway, that was the date we set. So we finally got it in, finally got a family gathering and had a turkey dinner, and it was pretty great.
Okay, so before we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, because I'm excited because Connor's here, and this is giving you the other side of what you've possibly heard for so long, but more in detail and I believe with more passion. So before we get there, what I did this weekend. Oh, you want to know, Bill? I'm glad to tell you what I did this week. I've been taking every Friday off, which is cool. So
I thought
I don't know how you got away with that too, by the way. That's
almost all my time. This is your time. I'm using it. This is what we did. So
I don't remember getting 18 minutes.
Jeez.
I mean, even one of my stories, he told it.
I thought you were going to talk this much. We gave you time last time. I tried to tell you, cut me off.
Would you expect any less or anything else? Halfway through your story, he always takes over anyways.
Jen, will you warm up Dad's milk so he can go to sleep a little earlier?
Yeah. Let me know when it's 5.
Normally, we're 26 minutes in. He's normally out cold, and I can just go. Sleepy Joe beside me over here. Anyway, so Friday we took off. So we decided it was going to be event day for the family. So the kids wanted to go. We had our anniversary on like the Tuesday. So I surprised them.
Like Tuesday, or was it Tuesday? Do you remember your anniversary?
My wife's within earshot. What are you doing to me, Bill? It was.
I'm trying to hold you accountable. That's all I'm trying to do.
Was it Tuesday? I think it was. It was Tuesday. Yeah, she said it was Tuesday. There we go.
Tuesday.
Connor, you're not staying here tonight, are you? The air mattress is free, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so on Tuesday, and I always do for our anniversary, it's just our style that it's a family thing, right? We've all been together for so long, So I took them bowling. Well, that sparked them that we hadn't been to the Palisade since COVID, or bowling, or doing anything cool like that. And I use air brackets around cool because they could have come and hung out in the woods with me, but regardless. So, okay, they want to go now do laser tag. We didn't get to do laser tag. And then, but there's also this trampoline park thing. And so I wanted to bring this up, Bill, because I'm pretty proud of myself. And like you said, I have to get it in there that I may be a little bit of an arrogant guy, but
just tell the story.
So get up in the morning. You make it longer. Okay. So get up in the morning, get everything ready to rock. We go pick up Megan's boyfriend. I'm reluctant to say it in that terminology. Andrew, we pick him up. And then away we go. So I had an idea, and this kind of hits with the redneck country. Well, I feel with the redneck country morals and values and what we stand for. So I thought, you know what? We're going to make this good because I don't want my kids growing up and having, the judgmental people look and it hinders your fun because you care what people think. And like, what's that person going to think of me if I do this? I don't care. I will do whatever I want that I think is fun. And I don't care what you think of me. To a degree, I still respect people, but rules are made to be broken at times, and let's have some fun. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to teach them that we don't care what people think. So we hit Value Village first. I didn't tell them. Said, we got a surprise. We got to go first. I said, all right. I made on pieces of paper, I wrote down 4 or 5 different characters. It was like a eccentric art collector, an 80s rock band or rock star, a super nerd, and I don't remember them all. An uptight accountant. And then I can't. Oh, and a obnoxious tourist. And so I said, okay, draw out of the hat. So everybody drew one, and you got that. Now you've got to get at least 3 items to represent this and what you are. Let's go. And we hit Value Village. And so we came out looking what I thought was pretty freaking cool. And then I made them wear that outfit into the establishments when we first went in. They could take it off after because it's hard to jump on a trampoline dressed up like a super nerd or like an eccentric art collector. Plus, it was freaking hot. So you can take it off, but going in and paying, standing in line, you're letting people look at you and we're having fun and I don't care. So that kind of kicked the day off. Now we had a blast. So what I really want to key in on, all the other stuff, okay, fine. We did Laser Quest. I won. Yeah, we all know that. Blah, 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 blah. We did a 80s arcade video game. I beat everybody in pinball. So that's given. And then, but we went to that trampoline park and dude, they have the ultimate ninja warrior or something like that. What?
Out of all the kids and stuff, you're tooting your horn to say you beat the 8-year-old in the laser tag.
I got photo proof. I got photo proof of it all.
Be proud of your accomplishments. I get that.
When we went into laser tag and there was only the 4 of us, me, Andrew, Avery, and Megan, I destroyed them. I mean, I doubled the second place person's score. Who was Megan? I doubled her score. I crushed them. They could not hold a candle. The guns had shotgun mode, so you could go rifle mode or shotgun mode.
And run and
dude, I was hiding and rolling and ducking and weaving, and like I made friends with the lady running it, so I knew she wouldn't kick us out, and so away we went. And I mean, it was pandemonium. It was absolutely epic. I destroyed them. I ran them over. If they seen me, it was too late. It was like a cop with a radar hidden on a highway. By the time you hit the brakes, he's already got you radared off to the side, Captain. Dude, I laid waste. And I took pictures, Connor. I have photo evidence, as well as 47 million on Metallica pinball. I have photo proof. Anyway, none of that matters.
That's the best pinball game ever.
I will tell you that. I didn't really. People were giving me the stink eye at the arcade because I wouldn't walk away from it. It's free, right? Yeah. $5 cover charge. Boom, go. And so people are like standing there making you feel bad because you're playing. But did you hear it? Boom. That means a free game. Sorry, son. I'm going to keep playing. Anyway, so I play that. But then where it was, we're at the trampoline park. And so we're going, well, Megan has a boyfriend there. I got to show dude that I am.
I just had a vision of the song Pinball Wizard.
I was singing it in my head.
I
was actually thinking that while I was playing. I'm like, would I be better if I try to feel the vibrations in this? But they wouldn't turn the music off for me, so it kind of irritated me. But
anyways, I cut you off. Carry on. This story's long enough. Carry on.
Now you sound like Dad. Anyway, so we get to the trampoline park. We're doing the trampoline thing. You got to show off a little bit. I got Megan's boyfriend Andrew here that I've got to make sure he knows I am the alpha male specimen of all humans on this earth, my man. So you better watch and learn. So as we're doing this, well, then we look over and there's 2 ultimate warrior things, one for kids and then the ultimate warrior one. And so they all chirp me because I work out a lot. They know how much time I spend in the basement. And they're like, Megan's like, Dad, You got to go do that? You can do that. And I've seen this on TV, and I'm thinking, I watch it on TV. It doesn't look that hard. They're hanging on these monkey bar things. They got to swing to a rope. They get on the rope. They swing across. And you're telling them, all you got to do is get that swing. Get that swing. Come on. Oh, you fell off. I'm like, I could do this thing, dude. Let me tell you. This thing, I could not let it beat me, Bill. But between you, I, and this podcast, it almost had me to my knees. I had worked out in the morning, but we did it right off the bat, and we should not have. I was dead the rest of the day. My every muscle in my body. The first thing, I had to swing across hula hoops and go like monkey bar hula hoops. So that one, okay, that was easy. Got there. The next one is 5 feet from the podium I'm standing on is a beam, like a, I don't even know what a joist. Up on the ceiling, right? Like there it is. You have to jump 5 feet. And what's on it? But those little rock climbing grips. And I mean, this thing's a box. It's a foot high, a foot wide, and it's got these stupid rock climbing things all over it. You have to jump and grab those rock climbing things and hold on. And then it is 10 feet long.
Grip strength.
You now have to go and scale this thing vertical for 10 feet. There's no feet involved. It is only a foot wide with these stupid things. So you're hand over hand holding your whole body weight. It doesn't stop there, my man. You get to the end. You now have a 5-foot leap from those to a rope that you now have to grab onto and get swinging, because then there's another rope that you have to jump to, and then 5 feet to the next platform where you can actually take a breather. Well, dude, that destroyed me. So I did it. I tell you what, I was so pumped. Now the last one, it just looks like these giant hoops, and there's maybe like a 10-foot gap in between. There's 3 of them and 10 feet between each one, and they're weighted. So they lean towards you, but when you grab them, they'll swing towards the other one. And so I'm standing there eyeing this up thinking, that's one heck of a jump. Then my grips are already spent from that stupid thing, but I've got to hang on enough that this thing's got to propel me up in the air so I can make another leap 10 feet to grab the next one, to swing another 10 feet to grab the next one. Well, while I'm standing there, this little kid kind of reminded me of me maybe back in grade 6, 7. He's about 60 pounds. He skipped the one behind me. Let me tell you, he didn't do that one. He comes and buds in front of me, looks at me, and he makes this freaking Spider-Man leap, boom, onto that one, boom, onto the next one, boom, onto the next one, boom, across, turns around, looks at me and went, ha, and walks away. Dude, it was everything I could do to not go grab that kid. But I was too sore. But I did.
You got a whole new respect now for the American Ninja Warrior.
I did it, dude. That, I'll tell you what.
He's going to sign up now.
After that crap,
that's it.
I was done, but I had to do it. And I had to prove I could do it. But I was impressed. So not to toot my own horn. But yeah.
Not to toot your own horn at all.
It was a good day. I taught the kids. I showed them what for. So anyway, that was my week. And then fishing. And this is where we're going to go. So now, without further ado, the latest real redneck from Redneck Country is my brother-in-law, Connor. Always been part of the family. So, but lately, let's go right from the beginning, Connor. So I bought my kayak way back in February? COVID. And he didn't see it or anything like that, but I took months building it. We all know that. Got it done. Well,
had to get his tip top before you let me know about it.
I got it. I got you smoking perfect. So then now we're almost at bass season. It's now time to unveil. So I call Connor. We're going down to a buddy of ours that's right beside Connor's place. Got some giant freaking gravel pits in there. It's going to be the maiden voyage. I posted the stuff on Facebook way back when. Connor's with me. So we get in this thing. Well, right from that, Connor, I'll let you speak, but you, at that point,
I was sold.
You're getting a kayak.
Yeah, I was getting a kayak. We were on the hunt then.
So then it was odd. Well, once I knew that he was in, it was okay. Well, guess what? Now we've got there's kayak tournaments that we can enter. Well, then it was lights out. So from there, Connor went and got a kayak. We found one on Facebook. He went and got it. We outfitted it. We got the milk crate. We built the hangers. We got all that jazz, and we started hitting fishing tournaments. So from there, Connor, your first impression when I first told you I had a kayak, what was your first thoughts?
Oh, I was excited. I was interested, especially in that motor part of it.
Well, yeah, because when you think kayak, who wants to freaking paddle all day? Dang, dang day, right? But yeah, so had the motor. So then, all right, we enter the fishing tournament.
Yeah, Lake Buckhorn, I think. This one.
Lake Buckhorn. So away we go. And I'll let you take it away, Connor. You tell our day about that and what your thoughts were, because this is our first tournament, actually our first bass tournament, really. I got
a question before you get into that.
Yeah.
How much did Todd help you, or did he, encourage the bass fishing side of it? Did you get much help from Todd, or was
I've been doing bass fishing a lot before the whole kayak. I've never been in a kayak.
Kayak but when you saw Todd, with his kayak, for me, I would have ran the other way as fast as I possibly could.
No, because I know Todd likes a challenge, so. And
I got it.
Oh, it's too funny. Yeah, no, Connor's fished forever, right? And these gravel pits that I took the kayak to, he lives there. Like he's there every freaking day. So it was a no-brainer that's where we were going to take it. But yeah, but I'll let you tell it. So we decided we were going to enter it. We're going to go down Friday night. We got to get up, fish Saturday morning. I found a little cottage, and I'll let Connor tell that side because this is evolving. We'll get to where we are today.
Yeah, it was a little cottage. We once we got up there, kind of got 6. It was raining then, I believe.
It was.
Got there.
Yeah.
And I think it was 6 or 7 hours later. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. Still raining. Still windy. Pretty terrible day all the way around. I think I caught 2 fish that day.
Oh, and white caps.
Oh yeah.
And so what we didn't know was you can't use motors in that freaking tournament.
You brought yours too.
And you could use it. So
you could use it the day after.
So we get out there and there's white caps and wind, and it was a half an hour to drift one way. That half an hour was 4 hours paddling back against current, and your anchor wouldn't hold you.
Yeah, and being the first tournament, we made the mistake of going the wrong way to begin with.
Fishing blind. We didn't know. We went the wrong. If we went the other way, we went left when we left our cottage and docked in. And
basically with the current, and we were fighting it. Yeah.
And we were fighting it. If we would have went right, we would have got behind some islands a little more protected, and probably where a lot more bass would have been.
Buddy won there too. That was sitting right
second place. We watched the guy catch 4 fish that took second. So from there, we now knew what we had to do. And we kind of got we got the hang of it. So from there on, Connor's now been entering these month-long tournaments, and I have too. But I'm
all Ontario waters, and
I'm not as hardcore as Connor as I am when I hit the water. But he's a lot more gotta go, and he's now hitting everywhere he can, and so it's kind of nice.
Long Point, Rondo Bay.
And so he's finding where to go to get him. So we're in the month-long tournament. You got to have 5 fish, total length, all of that jazz. That really, the total length is the mass. So you really want to catch smallmouth bass because they're longer than largemouth. Well, now you got to find where the smallmouth are. And so that's where kind of Connor was. And we've been finding largemouth, no problem. So then this last month has been largemouth only. So that's our fisheries. So right now, this tournament ends tomorrow. And
let me ask just a quick question to stop. When these tournaments and the weigh-ins happen, can you see the fish that the winner has?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that these guys are.
Yeah, so it goes beyond that because so here's the
you
caveat.
Can see it the whole month long. You can see the fish that they're catching.
Yeah, you get an app.
Because I was just curious, based on what they're weighing in or measuring in, you could tell, hey, that largemouth, that's where the big sizes are coming from.
Some of these largemouth, they look odd, eh, Todd? I don't know if you've seen a couple of these guys' pictures, but they look like different largemouth than we catch down here.
There's some of them are a little deformed, Bill. I just figured they're from your neck of the woods. I don't know what is in the water. They do. They look a little
Darlington nuclear plant or something like that.
Big heads, little bodies, and they're freaking long as heck. They're like, they're weird looking largemouth, but the deformed in the picture, maybe I don't know. But no, it goes further. So you get the app and you take the picture of the fish on the catch board by the length, right? And it's all about inches. That's really what matters. So you take a picture of this thing, which I've talked about many times on this podcast, get the picture, and then you enter it.
Which isn't easy.
On the app, which no, it is not. I've got a picture of a fish. I had one of my second largest for this tournament. I put him on the board. I'm pumped. I go to take the picture and he jumps in just as I push the button to take the picture, and he's in the water and gone. And I'm like, oh, I look at my phone.
Got a picture of just the tail.
I got a picture of the tail going into the water. So that's disheartening. You lose that. But you take it a step further. I actually made a meme about it. And so on the meme, I put on there, and it got deleted, of course.
You learn from your mistakes, too. Now you put the net underneath your catch board at the end where they can hop off.
Good call.
These are
just in case.
Secrets of the first year angler.
Right? And
Hey,
so
how many catch boards are you at right now, Connor? You got one? Or
I bought one and I still have one.
you're on your first one, right?
Yeah, I'm on my first one.
Dad owes me a catch
Okay.
board.
Oh, yeah, right. No.
The guy that crosses the wake of a tour boat and swamps us and says, I own the catch board. Yeah.
He made me do it.
Yeah,
So-
it's swimming with the fishes with my fishing pole.
Yeah, it's in the St. Lawrence. Anybody wants a catch board and a nice pair of fishing glasses and a nice fishing pole? It's in the St. Lawrence, up by the Thousand
I
Islands.
heard it could have been your tackle.
Could have been the
Don
tackle.
instead, but Todd dove in there, made a life-changing
thank
decision.
you. Thank you,
He
Connor.
didn't dive in. He just said, oh, look, it's floating. I swam over and got it.
Crap. No, the first time. The second
were you
time,
both swimming at
my
the time, though?
catch board was going down and Dad's tackle box was going down, and I'm standing on my kayak upside down. It is already full of water. It's sinking, and I had to make the decision: Dad's tackle or my catch board. And I chose Dad's tackle. You're welcome.
It's very honorable.
There's more money in there, that's for sure. So anyway, but what I was saying with the meme and that, it goes further, Bill. So you can take a picture, and I can take a picture. If I catch one at the first of the month, I don't have to enter that thing till tomorrow at the end of the tournament. You can hold it in your live well. Nobody can see what you got. So you could be in last place with no fish, and then the last day of the tournament, you can enter all your fish in.
19-inch fish.
Boom. Yeah. And then you're in, right? So you can do that. But a lot of guys don't. I'd rather put the pressure on people, right? If I'm catching big fish, I want them panicking.
Yeah, like
I
here
want them
with 90 inches.
or giving up. Yeah, exactly. Or giving up, right? Oh, screw this guy. I'm not going to catch him. So that's kind of like going to an ATA shoot and posting the big score of the first squad. And everybody else is like, well, got to beat 100. Now it's in their head. They miss one. They give up. They quit shooting. Like, screw it. Right? Don't have to concentrate anymore. So that's my theory.
Tournament tactics.
But I made a meme because it goes further. When you put those pictures up there and you see the leaders, you can look at their pictures. Well, now they've got these fancy, and you know this, Bill, you have these. They got these fancy fish finders with GPS. You're zooming in on those GPSs. And so I made a meme. I don't always zoom in on a person's picture in Tourney X, but what I do, it's because they're in first and I'm checking out their GPS. So, but you're also
They
looking
deleted
at, yeah, they toasted it. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, well, it's my standings with the group, I think.
I think it was you.
That's how I roll. Anyway, so yeah, but really that's what Connor was doing in our last tournament. Like, so not the month-long tournament, but the tournament that you're on site for, the one day you go do it, is now you got the leader catching some large fish. He's up to 90 inches. Holy crap. Everybody else is catching these stupid little dinky things. Where is this? So Connor's checking out, what's in the background. What kind of water is he in? Can you see lily pads? Is he in some thick mat? Like, what's he doing? Is he punching mat? Where is he? And so Connor, that's why I say Connor's, I'm not even looking at the app. I'm just fishing what I know and going.
Sorry, I was going through all these guys' photos, figuring out what the water looks
Yeah.
like. And that.
I think
Not
he's
even-
over on Facebook. He's actually doing research.
Not even the fish finder thing. It's more just what the water looks like. If it's clear, if you can tell it's deep.
That's smart.
Yeah, whatever's on top. Like the one guy, he was in first, just a green mat all around his kayak, in the scuffer holes, all that. So he's in some thick, shallow crap. So, and
Did he have the plugs in or no?
We were in Kakshikoma and
What's-
Mississauga.
What's that? Bill?
Did he have the plugs in his boat or?
Oh, jeez. Ain't nobody needs scupper plugs. Anyway,
But I tell you, that's a smart thing to do. You want to be the best, find out what the best is doing and copy it.
Right. So, but then we're trying to find that water.
And adapt or die.
And we couldn't find it.
Yeah, some guys are leaving their soft plastic bags out when they're taking the pictures and that.
Connor's checking what they're using.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be decoys too, right?
Yeah. See, yeah.
They could be smarter than me. I will, possible.
Because I know for sure when the guys do the weigh-ins on those tournaments, that PP and Brian Norman and those guys do, the leaders weigh in their fish last for dramatic effect, and the guy who runs it wants that to happen to put on a show, right? I mean, he's promoting things. With these tournaments, it's completely different, but not a single rod, reel, tackle bag, nothing. Yeah. There is nothing on the deck of that boat that you could get one clue as to how they fish, what they fish, where they were fishing.
Yeah. No doubt,
it's good. Mm-hmm. No, and so if you're able to get that knowledge from pictures, and people are, I'm not going to say dumb enough to do that, but are willing to offer that up for your benefit, then go for it. Use it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and that's what Connor's been doing. So this tournament that ends tomorrow, what are you in right now, Connor? Out of like 80 something guys, you're in 9th?
I am in 9th place after our little weekend fishing trip.
So yeah. So
Good deal.
So tomorrow's our last ditch effort. We're going to hit our local lake, the one we've talked about that they've just opened up to allow us to fish in. We're going to hope
we find a couple good ones.
All we need, all he needs is a couple 20 inches.
220s? Hey, I'd be happy. I might hit second place with 220s, I think.
So what does that mean? That means that you bump out an 18-inch, or what are you behind by?
Right now I'm sitting at 80, I think 89 3/4, and the leader is in 95 1/4, I think. So I need a couple good ones, to say the least.
Yeah.
My lowest one, 17 3/4. So at 20, it bumped that out pretty good.
He needs a couple 20s because he's got to make up about 6 inches, right?
I mean,
one day.
I'm optimistic, but I mean,
you got to be.
So how does it work for? Does top 10 pay out?
Top 3. Top 3 and the largest fish.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what first place prize is. It's got to be over $3,000 or close.
It's got to be up there.
Can you be first, second, third, and still have the largest fish?
Yes. Yes.
You can win more than one.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if you finish right where you are now.
Oh, I'm happy.
As a first-year angler in these kayak tournaments,
I'm impressed. Yeah.
Getting duped into it by Todd and getting all that kind of stuff.
Duped in. I just showed him.
You got lots of wins. You didn't get wet.
He opened.
You've got all your equipment that you started with, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get wet. You got all the equipment that you started with, and you've outfished him for the entire year.
I gotta go tip him tomorrow now, don't I, Bill?
And you know what hurts, Bill? I wasn't even in a tournament. I was just out there having fun.
Yeah, I think as a rite of passage, Connor has to take Dad out.
And it ended before I even caught a fish. Like, fun's over.
Yeah, I specifically bought a kayak that only sits one person. So about that.
Yeah. That's a smart way to go.
My kid's the only one that's coming on the kayak.
His dad ain't getting in with him. That ain't happening. Good grief.
Like Todd was saying the other day, just having your name up there in the top 10 when people go through the Tourney X app there, it's pretty cool. Just having your name up there.
It's the prestige thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially being first year, like when we went to Kakshakoma, you see these guys out there at 5 o'clock in the morning with their lights.
Oh, and I've looked into some of these guys. I thought I had an expensive kayak.
Oh, heck no!
I don't hold a candle. I mean, now that I've done the money on some, they're rolling. There's a lot rolling about $12,000 in their kayaks. I bet.
Well, it's like
That's
anything.
incredible.
Your name's up there for the top 10. It's like having your name up there against a good score on the leaderboard trap shooting. You know, your name's up there.
Your name's up there. Yeah.
Makes you feel better too with a $1,000 kayak against these 12,000s and
you still put dropping hammers, right?
30th and you're in 10th.
So what do they say? It's beating the Krieghoff K80 with an 870.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I really and then what I wanted to bring it, we talked a little bit last podcast about GoProing and making videos. So I've started, and I don't have the patience. I'm more of I'm fishing, I'm videoing, combining the two. Your battery goes, you got to change your memory card. You got to make sure you hit record. You got to be,
that button's really important.
You got to, right. You got to be wearing the darn thing on your chest all day. Connor's been doing this. Connor's got some tell us. So I really want to get all of his footage, and because I've got the software, and make this initial kick butt. Here is Real Redneck Connor. Here is a video, and then we're hoping to weigh this out and maybe make it monthly videos of predominantly, have Connor bring in his fishing videos. We'll have some hunting video, but then add anybody that wants to throw in and make it, a monthly channel and a mash of all of these folks' videos together and make an outdoors hunting, fishing video on our YouTube channel. And I think it'll be epic, right? So, but Connor, tell them some of the footage that you've got, because on, what was it, Saturday we were out all day?
Yep,
Saturday, it was insane. He's got footage. Did you watch it yet? Have you seen it?
I have found the video.
Did you get it?
The osprey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sitting there. I'm pretty sure it's around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm fishing a topwater spook bait, and just out of nowhere, this osprey comes down, hammers the water right on top of my bait, and he took a fish out too, and I got it all on the GoPro. Now, before we actually go through these videos, Todd's gonna have to figure out some I think funny sounds to cover over my swearing.
the Jersey Shore beat button. We've got
to
it.
make it a little kid friendly videos and PG. But other than that, it was pretty. It's never happened to me before. That type of.
I heard a splash. I turned around and was expected to see him pulling in a fish, and this freaking
pulling in a bird that was 20 pounds.
Bird is flying away, and I'm like, is Connor still on his boat? What just happened there?
It was cool.
No, it was pretty wicked. So he's been getting a lot of photos, a lot of videos. He's been getting blow up top waters and all kinds. I think I got one, but I haven't had it out since the one day, just because, man, you got to charge the batteries. You got to clean off the cards. You got to, it's a lot of work.
I just got it cleaned off. So we got a fresh card.
Ready for tomorrow? I should get mine going.
I might bring it tomorrow. I got to charge some batteries, but.
So yeah,
I love fishing topwater baits and seeing that explosion. And if you can get that on tape,
I think I've probably got
top shelf.
20 minutes, 30 minutes of topwater videos, especially in Rondo.
Yep.
Rondo, the bass are pretty
and tomorrow
lively.
That's what I think it's going to be solid. Like last time I got bored.
Topwater day?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of small fish. I got bored fishing a wacky worm. It's just pulling in little guy. I finally went to where you're not supposed to fish from shore, but because I'm in my kayak, I could fish that side of this lake because it's right on the edge of town, and there's bylaws all around it. And so I floated over and just let my kayak get stuck in the mat and started throwing. And 7 out of 10, no lie, my first 10 casts, 7 blow-ups. So on top water, yeah. So
smashing them.
I'm gonna take my GoPro tomorrow and I'm gonna start fishing top water because I figure the larger fish are gonna hit a top water before they hit a wacky worm.
Yep, and that's where I would start too.
Yeah,
right
on the head.
The top water bait, they'll come after that and just blow it up. But
get that reaction.
Yep. Yeah, and that spot's not been fished a lot because you're not supposed to fish it from shore. So it's only folks in kayaks, and there's not a whole lot. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. So anyway, I want to bring Connor on and kind of do that little rendition and let him give his side of kayak fishing. And it's not just me, and I didn't coerce him. I just showed him my kayak, and after that, it was on.
Yeah, then the search was on.
Yeah, I tell you what, you do it once, you're in. It's just awesome. It just goes where no other boat can go. You don't care how shallow the water is. Pull your motor up and drift in and bounce off rocks. You can attest to launch anywhere.
You do it once. You do it once, you're in the water.
It makes a good swimming platform.
It does.
Don's never going to let that go.
No, he's not. No. Good grief. Anyway. So, yeah. So
I wish you guys the best of luck this weekend. I mean, you got one day left, and I'm hoping to get some text messages from you guys.
And we start a new one on the next day. There's another month, right? There's 2 more.
Yeah.
There's a September tourney, and then there's a September one's going to be tough for me because of ducks, geese, doves. October's going to be even tougher because deer.
But we are going to hit St. Clair.
But yeah, we're going to have to hit Lake St. Clair next month.
You catch one of them 50-inch muskies in one of those things.
Oh, old man in the sea. I'm just going to say, see you later. Turn on the GoPro, and you can watch that after you find my body.
Just open up
That's
the
it.
and let them run. That's what I was saying.
Get yourself to shore and drop an anchor or something.
Stand up and ski, baby. We're rolling.
That would be really cool, though, pulling a muskie up to your kayak that's about half as long.
Right? A 45, 50 incher out of St. Clair. Slide over there, Pond Predator. I'll be taking people out in a charter on my yak.
Yeah, post that on Turn Yak.
Yep. 300 per person. You get 10 minutes at a time. I can only take one of you every 10 minutes. Kayak charter. Kayak muskie charter. You may get bit. So yeah.
Definitely a good decision. I love it.
So yeah, so now he's got it all rigged up. Now he's got I had an extra trolling motor, so he's rigged it up and got that sitting on there now. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling now.
Any changes for next year in the setup based on year 1 experience?
Yeah, I'm definitely well right now I'm fishing blind because I have changed kayaks. The first one I bought I used for, what do you think, Todd? A month and a half.
And then we found a better one for the same price, so he flipped it.
T12 12-footer. And so I sold the first one, but I sold it with the fish finder and everything that came with it originally. So
yeah, it was a cheaper fish finder. So he's fishing without a fish finder. So that's kind of a must. As we know, you got to find those shoals and
long tournaments. It's tough.
Like that's how I caught mine in the morning. I came across a weed bed that Connor didn't even know was there because he didn't have a fish finder. He was fishing the edge, and I was out in the middle getting to him. And
Which
I'm
is
like,
even more impressive that he's fishing blind and he's out fishing in 9th place.
Not the last tournament he didn't. I beat him in the last one.
Day-long tournament, true.
But yeah. So he gets a fish finder. I don't think I'm going to make any changes, to be honest with you. I'm rocking and rolling as far as I'm concerned. The rumor is we're now going to be allowed to use motors in these tournaments and these day ones next year. So yeah, these guys with the pedals, it's going to even it out now that we're good to go. We get our motors. Now it's going to make it a more enjoyable. The only change I might make is a bigger battery. So I'm certain I last all day. So,
well, yeah, I mean, these are small tweaks, right? You can't be perfect the first year out.
Well, this is me, Bill. You could.
Did you see the hesitation in my voice when I said that? I was like, how is he going to respond to this?
I just figured you were on knit too.
Didn't you know?
And you just had to stop and concentrate for a second as the crochet hook came through. I didn't.
Yeah,
you can't talk and knit at the same time.
It was what's Todd going to say to puff himself up on this one.
But yeah, so I really, you get a kayak. I'm telling you, Bill, you got to get one. Whoever's listening, look at you got Wendy and Braden, her son, and her husband Andrew. They all bought them, all 3. And they're out in freaking Long Point Bay fishing already. And they went from not being able to even spool a reel, and in a month they're catching largemouth bass on a kayak in the bay.
Yeah, my kayak's got a 20 horsepower Evinrude on the back with 2 casting decks and 2 fish finders
and a $100 dock fee.
And $100 dock fee. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so who's losing here?
Yeah.
And the anxiety of having to back it in front of people.
I'm over that. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just do what Todd said at the start of the podcast. Who cares what people think?
That's right.
That's it. Right. Just let her happen.
You got it.
So
be respectful.
Well, I
but
wish
don't
you guys the best
of
luck for this weekend coming. That's
Appreciate
for sure. Or this week.
Good shooting, Bill. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the next podcast is going to turn into it's a different animal. We're going.
Connor, good luck tomorrow. Move
doves,
up out of
ducks.
Yeah. Take the lead.
Yeah, we got to get him to a couple 20 inches plus. So, all right. Rock and roll.
Right.
Appreciate everybody's time.
Gentlemen.
We'll talk to you.
Good night. See you next week.
See ya.
Take care. And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country Podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Tom.
And I'm Todd. And thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.